Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13th Wonder of the World. So nice to hear from y'all. So nice to hear from everybody today on this Friday. Make sure you pay your bills on Friday. Keep that in mind now. Make sure you pay your bills. But happy Friday. I hope you had a great Friday today. I'm here on the point of view, ladies and gentlemen. I am DDE80, aka Mike D, aka 13th Wonder of the World, aka Mike DZ. Just here, want to rap with y'all today on this great Friday. Kind of cold outside here in the South, but we're here maintaining through God's grace and mercy, God allowing us to live to see this day. So blessings go to everybody that's listening to the point of view and everybody that's out there in the world. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all and thank y'all for listening to me on the point of view. Got a few things I want to talk about today. And then I have another special podcast coming up after this. Hopefully my producer will be able to leak it before tomorrow. But I want to start off with talking about both sports, wrestling and basketball and football as well. The game is on. Excuse me if you hear the whistle. Letting the computer play right now. The lineup is we're going to talk about TNA from last night. We're also going to talk about AEW Dynamite. We're also going to talk about Jeff Hardy not happy with AEW Rampage. I'm also going to talk about I'm going to AEW's Collision in 2 weeks. Well, next weekend. I'm going to also talk about the Lakers, and they're on a nice little mini winning streak. Also, SmackDown's preview. Also, I'm going to talk about, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the rest of the football games that are going to come on this weekend. Going to talk about Antonio Pierce becoming a free agent. Well, not a free agent anymore, but now the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Well, the Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me. Also going to talk about Okada. Now is a free agent. He's no longer in New Japan Wrestling. Where's he going to go? And those are some of the things I'm going to talk about. And also I'm going to talk about the preview for SmackDown tonight as well. Like I said, if you hear the game, that's just me letting the computer play. But first of all, I want to go over TNA Impact. Folks, they had a great format last night. I know it was taped. I know that we already know what's happening in the next couple of weeks because they've been doing that for the last 10, 12 years, taping their programs ahead of time and then have them shot for each week. But, man, I tell you, the format that they got TNA Impact Wrestling looking in now is phenomenal. It's great for business. It's a step up to what Impact Wrestling was. Impact Wrestling was great, but now that they've gone back to the TNA banner, they are now up there as one of the best 3 brands in the business of wrestling. Folks, I'm telling you, if they had a little more star power, they could give AEW a run for their money. You guys got to remember, TNA and WWE has an agreement. Nobody knows that, but they do. A lot of people don't know that, but TNA and WWE, they do business together. So we'll see what happens when the cards unfold with that. But I saw Frankie Kazarian turn on Eric Young in a tag match against the Grizzle young veterans, which is James, Drake, and Gibson. Those guys used to be in NXT. They were a part of the dyad that Joe Gacy and The Rock's daughter was a part of. The grizzled young veterans are now in TNA wrestling, and they beat Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. And Frankie Kazarian now is a heel. Kaz has been wrestling for over 25 years, 26 years, something like that. And now at 45, 46 years old, he's now a heel. So now I guess it's going to be him and Eric Young fighting. Two original TNA guys fighting. We'll see what happens, because Eric Young has not been in the little creepy mode he used to be in. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if he gets his boys back to try to put that pound on Frankie. I don't know. Eddie Edwards, you got to think about him as well. He's also one of the bad guys in the business. So we'll see what happens when all that goes down, folks. We will see what happens when all that goes down. Excuse the game. I wish I could turn the sound off of that, but I can't. So just bear with it. Might not be a perfect pod, but hey, I'm here telling you stuff. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I saw Dolph Ziggler make his comments on TNA. Looks like he's going to end up in a rival with Steve Macklin, but he's going to go up against Zachary Wentz. And for those of you that don't know who Zachary Wentz is, he was the partner of Wes Lee in WWE when he got released. Zachary Wentz was also on the game, and they took him off the game after the situation he had going on with him. But the Young Rascals are still in, TNA wrestling. So that's the first match. Also, Naomi Trinity, who lost to Jordan Grace, will get a rematch against Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title. 9 times out of 10, without reading the spoilers, she's not gonna win. She might have one more match, and then she'll go to WWE. I think she will be a part of the Royal Rumble. I think she will. If her contract is letting her out before time, then next Saturday she'll be at the Royal Rumble. They got a vignette out for Dana Brooke, Ash something. I don't really know her name, but they got her out with the glamorous character like Tony Storm and like Mandy Rose was. So we'll see what she could do, because she definitely could be a TNA Knockouts champion over there. Dana Brooke can. I'm pulling for her. I'm hoping that she gets the shot that she didn't get in WWE. So we'll see what happens with that as well. But TNA, they look like they're back on the market right now. They could give AEW a run for their money. The product is getting interesting. The product is getting a lot better. So we'll see what happens. Great match between Josh Alexander and Will Ospreay. Should be, when they do the Best of Impact Wrestling, of TNA Wrestling for 2024, that match should be on there, because that was a great match between him, Josh Alexander, and Will Ospreay. Very great match. Excellent match. We see Top Dollar now is over in TNA, AJ Francis. Hopefully he can get his career back on the pace that he wants to. A lot of people are asking why they didn't go to AEW. I don't know. But, good luck to them as they start their future with the new company. Also, Kara is no longer signed with New Japan Wrestling. He got contracts going to be coming to him at all. Impact's going to want him. AEW's going to want him. Of course, WWE's going to want him. And even NWA Power might want him. Folks, I'm telling you, wherever he goes, he is going to bring butts to seats because this guy can go. Okada is one of the greatest New Japan wrestlers they had in the mix. So he's going to be something serious wherever he goes. If he goes to AEW, they're going to put him in special showcase matches and then try to put him in for a title. He could be the Ring of Honor World Champion. He could be the champion of Ring of Honor. Him and Eddie Kingston could have a great match. But I'm telling you, WWE, NXT, if he goes there, Dragunov and Trick is in trouble. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they do it, you could have CM Punk go up against Dragunov. I mean, not Dragunov, but Okada if he signs. That'd be a great match, folks. That would be a great match for the business. That's no lie. That's me just telling it how it is. That's just me talking about it how it is. And that is what I'm saying right now about that, folks. Because that is what wrestling needs. A shocker. Not spoiling everything all the time, but a shocker in the business. AEW Dynamite recap. The best match on there besides Hook versus Joe was the match before it. What a great match between Top Flight, Darius Martin, and his brother against Private Party. You know what I'm saying? Quinn and Zay. Man, those boys had a great tag team match. One of the best tag team matches I saw in a long time. AEW has some great matches, folks, because their product, they make their product harder because they want people to watch it. That's why I say that they go 10 times harder than WWE at times. Their main event has to be a over-the-top main event because their main event, has to compete with WWE. But it was a great match. Looks like it's going to be Toni Storm going up against Deonna Purrazzo for the AEW Women's title. Julia Hart is on money right now in AEW, folks, as the TBS champion. She's on point. I like what they're doing with her. She's knocking them off. There's a possibility she could go up to fight for the women's title. We'll see. But that was great as well. Young Bucks called out Sting and Darby. That's what they're doing. They're talking about Sting's one of the guys they got to get out of the business. Whatever. We'll see what happens with that. Swerve Strickland is still looking for the world title along him and Hangman Page. I think you go with a three-way. Joe Strickland versus Strickland versus Hangman for the title. That's what I think. You make it a three-way for the title at the next pay-per-view. Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong are going to go at it for the AEW, all international title. Who knows who might win? This is a chance for Roderick Strong to get the belts to the Undisputed Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see what they do. Warlow's being played like a fool to me because if he does win the title, he's not going to hand the title over to Adam Cole. He's going to want to keep it. So we'll see what happens with that as well. And, you saw some great matches on there. 6-man tag was it a 6-man tag with them? Speaking of 6-man tag, the Mogul Embassy, Prince Nada and his boys, they lost the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles to the Bullet Club Gold. The Gun Boys and Jay White, they won. I am proud of the Gun Boys because the Gun Boys are now champions again. I'm proud of Jay White because even though he did not win the Continental Classic tournament for the belts, he was able to win something. So shout out to him. Juice Robinson has to be injured. because I thought you could use him as well, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be good to see those boys with those belts. That's a great concept for AEW to do that for them. And that's basically all that happened because you saw Orange Cassidy um, and Trent Beretta defeat part of the Lucha Bros. I be forgetting the name Penta and Commander. I think that's who it was out there, or Phoenix, and one of them's injured. So we'll see what happens to that. Speaking of injuries, on another side note, uh, they're not saying what's going on with Seth Rollins. He's been pulled from all the live events. Randy Orton's gonna be the main eventer in the live event. So we'll see what happens with that as you know, Seth Rollins, hopefully he will be healthy enough so that he could have his match, his WrestleMania match with CM Punk. That's gonna be interesting to see. Kenny Omega still out. It's kind of tough that Kenny's still out, but I'm hoping that he could come back and you know, win and get back to what he do. So, you know, speedy recovery to Kenny Omega. Also, I'm going to AEW. I'm going to be there. I want to enjoy myself there. So, you know, we're going to have a good time watching AEW. I've never been to an AEW event, but this will be interesting to see, to watch AEW live. Also, ladies and gentlemen, speaking still of AEW, Jeff Hardy is not happy. Jeff Hardy's not happy with the position that they're in as the Hardys. He's not happy about the Rampage match. He must have lost to Darby because they say Darby took on him at Rampage and he probably lost. So we'll see where that goes with him. But like I keep telling you, the Hardys are just there to build talent. But I would rather them have a shot at the AEW or the Ring of Honor tag team titles. Put them back in the limelight. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Jeff Hardy and the Hardys. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about football for a minute, then I'll go to the NBA. I want to talk about the Cowboys keeping Mike McCarthy, and Antonio Pierce is now the head coach of the Raiders. Let me start off talking about Antonio Pierce. Congratulations to him being an African American, being a head coach. It's not too many of them out there, but you know, the Lord opened the door up for him that he gets an opportunity to be a head coach of a franchise that we know that they can do better than what they're doing. The Raiders played great last year, but they didn't get to the playoffs. Can Antonio Pierce get them there now? We'll see. We'll see what happens with them as they get ready to start their future with their new coach. But shout out to Antonio Pierce for getting an opportunity in the National Football League as a head coach. Congratulations to him. He gets nothing but respect from me, and I hope that he can get the Raiders back to playoff contention, because that's the first thing they need to try to get them to a wild card and then work forward there. Maybe people will want to come to Vegas and watch them play. You never know now. Hopefully that's what it is. But shout out to Antonio Pierce for getting his coaching job in with the Raiders in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Shout out to him. Congratulations. Excuse my voice. I'm still kind of raspy, but I'm still going to do the point of view. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the other coaching of the NFL. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization decided to keep Mike McCarthy as their coach. They don't want to win nothing. They don't want to win, man. Because if it's a coaching job, the coach didn't get rid of him. But I noticed now, and I had a conversation with one of my friends. Not gonna say her name, but she know who I'm talking to. And me and her had a debate about this. We really didn't have a debate. We had a conversation about it. She said why they didn't, and she said because they like what they got. Jerry Jones like what he sees. Of course, he wants to win the big one, but you know if he wins the big one, he's gonna have to shell out more dollars to contracts. And so that's why they went with Mike McCarthy still as the coach, because they didn't want to spend any more money on another coach, on a Bill Belichick or a Bill O'Brien, who's now with Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went back to college. Or Josh McDaniels, who's still out there, you know, guys like that who knows the Patriots offense. But Josh McDaniels could have been a great coach for the Cowboys, but you know, it is what it is. If I'm the Patriots, I bring him back as an offensive coordinator because now, you know, Bill O'Brien is gone from New England along with Belichick. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. But Dallas, as far as the Cowboys, they're never going to win anything with Jerry Jones always in the front center in the limelight. He needs to take a step back and let the organization do what they need to do. Your job is to put butts in seats and to get people there to play. You can't go on the field and play for these guys. You can't tell a coach how to coach the team. The only thing you can do is recommend something, but you can't coach the game and play the game for these players. That's up to the coach coaching and the players playing. And it's as simple as that, because Dak Prescott right now is playing like a mediocre quarterback. He's good, but when it gets down to playoffs, he play mediocre. He play mediocre. Oh, man, I don't know. But I'm hoping that they don't make it 30 years in a row, because it's looking like that's what's going to happen. They haven't went to the Super Bowl in a long time. I say 30 years, but it's close to 30. And it is what it is, folks. And for all these Dallas fans out here, America's team, I disagree with that. They may be to everybody else, but they're not to me. America's team was the New England Patriots, not the Dallas Cowboys, not the Green Bay Packers, even though they're still in the hunt. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens coming in the season with the Cowboys. They take you for a ride each year. Everybody that's Cowboys fans, they take y'all for a ride each year. They get you up to the high part of the roller coaster and just leave you there. And all of a sudden, you got to go all the way back down. But you're going back down with a loss, with a defeat record. Tough. Just like it's tough on the Eagles. Shout out to Kendo, and I'm praying that God bless him on this trip. He's going to Oklahoma. But you know what I'm saying? The Eagles got to realize what they need to do better. It's just that simple. You know, very disappointing teams. The Dolphins, disappointment. The Cowboys, disappointing. You want to know who else? The Philadelphia Eagles, disappointing. I know that my team didn't do nothing this year. We were disappointed after week 6. After week 6, we were a disappointment. And it's just the way it is. We were not up on par to do what we need to do. Very disappointing. And I'll say it again. We, the New England Patriots, were disappointing this year. And that's just that, with that there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about it because it's true. But tomorrow, NFL football starts back tomorrow, so we'll see what happens in the division games now, as we get closer and closer to the Super Bowl. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let me put my little things on here for a second. I want to read something. Okay, now let's go back. Before I go back to wrestling, let's go back and talk about the Lakers. The LA Lakers are now into, I think they're now over 500 or close to it, or at 500. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers have beaten two teams that are going to be in the playoffs this year. The Dallas Mavericks are going to be there. Luka and Kyrie against LeBron and AD the other night. James and AD outplayed Kyrie and Luka. The night before that, well, the other night, they beat the OKC Thunder. I think this is the second time beating them this year, because the last time they played them, I think it was in OKC where LeBron hit the three-pointer and the referee called the two. It's either against them or Minnesota, one of the two. I think it was against OKC. They have won two in a row. Tonight they play Brooklyn. Brooklyn is coming off of back-to-back. Coming off of back-to-back. They lost last night. I think they lost last night. So we'll see where the Lakers' head is at tonight. Because D'Lo now is playing like he wants to stay in LA. I think he's playing for two reasons. He's playing because he's a trade piece. He wants to play good. And he's also tired of people talking about the Lakers and not doing this or doing that. So we'll see what happens with them tonight as they play the Brooklyn Nets, the LA Lakers. Also a great matchup tonight as well. I haven't went through the whole NBA format tonight. But the Boston Celtics will host the Denver Nuggets. Now, Joker just got beat by Joel Embiid and the 76ers Wednesday. What's going to happen tonight when he goes up against Tatum and Brown? Because those are going to be the key matchups. Tatum and Brown against Murray and Joker. The Celtics don't have nobody for Joker. Al Horford's probably going to give it all he got. But they don't have anybody for Joker. We're going to have a great matchup between Holiday and Jamal Murray. KCP's probably going to be the one that's going to try to tangle with Tatum. I don't know who's going to hold Brown. It's probably going to be either Aaron Gordon, which probably Aaron Gordon will probably be on Tatum, and KCP be on Brown. It's going to be an interesting matchup to see what they do tonight. I think the Nuggets are probably going to lose that game, but we'll see what happens when it goes down tonight between the Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. What a great game that's going to be, folks, to see that happen. That's some of the NBA games tonight. I hope everybody that hits plays. I hope everybody hit on their spreads, on their money line, they up and under, they over and under, player performance, all those good things. I hope that, they hit for you tonight on this great Friday so you can have a little something going on for the weekend. Because tomorrow, the bet lines are going to be hitting tomorrow because of the NFL, because of college basketball, and because of the NBA. So we'll see what all that, how that all takes place tomorrow as well, as we go on. Sports still everlasting. It's all year round. So we're here for it. I'm here for it as well. Also, I read something today, and I know a lot of people don't like this guy because of what he did. He was very vicious. Chris Benoit's wife, late wife, Nancy Benoit, who was married to Kevin Sullivan back in the WCW days. She was awarded a PWI Life Achievement Award. So 9 times out of 10, that's going to go either to her son Well, not her son, because her son got killed too by Chris Benoit. Wow. I didn't even want to talk about that, but that's actually what happened. But it'll probably go to her family, Nancy Benoit's family. Congratulations to her, even though it's posthumous. But post pass. But congratulations to her for getting an award from PWI. It's a great thing for her. Congratulations to Nancy Benoit for getting that. And I want to talk about it, and that's what it was. So congratulations to her for that. And with that being said, SmackDown tonight, Friday night SmackDown previews. Wow. It's going to look like it's going to be a loaded show. Randy Orton will go up against Solo. Butch and Bate, which is Pete Dunne and Bate versus Pretty Deadly. That should be a great match. There should be a segment on Damage Control and Bianca, probably. Maybe or maybe not. Of course, you got the contract signing, which will probably be last, between Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight for the fatal four-way match at the Royal Rumble. The women's tag team titles will be defended tonight as Isla Dawn and Alba Fire will try to take the titles from Carter and Chance, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. There will be a segment between KO, which is the KO show, with Logan Paul on there. We'll see what happens with that tonight, as well as they get ready for their Royal Rumble match. And also the LWO with Carlito versus Santos, Angel, and Humberto in a 6-man tag tonight as well. SmackDown looks like it's going to be loaded with matches and segments tonight. So we'll see what happens tonight as we gear up for WrestleMania season. WrestleMania season starts right after the Royal Rumble. So we'll see the moving parts with that as well. And on that note, I want to tell everybody to enjoy your Friday. Enjoy what you got going on. Cook you a great meal, eat you some good food, relax, and be good. I'll be back tomorrow with the SmackDown recap, as well as the AEW Rampage recap, basketball recap, as well as, preview of football of the NFL tomorrow and things like that, because I think tomorrow the Texans and the Ravens play Saturday. So we'll have all that to talk about, folks. But until then, God bless you, God keep you. Peace and love to all of you. You all have a good night.